Hello, dear students. Seedling, have you ever wondered how did a single-celled organism living billions of years ago give rise to the incredible diversity of life we see today, from elephants and whales to butterflies and roses? The secret lies not just in the fact of evolution, but in the mechanism of evolution. At the very heart of evolutionary biology lies a simple question: where does variation come from, and how do new species arise? Charles Darwin gave us the powerful idea of natural selection, survival of the fittest. But he could not explain the exact genetic basis of variation. Later, Mendel's experiments with pea plants revealed the laws of inheritance, and modern biologists combined both these ideas. Today, we know that mutations, natural selection, and population genetics together form the machinery that drives evolution. Isn't it fascinating how one question opened the door to so many scientific discoveries? Darwin believed that evolution is not a sudden leap but a slow, steady climb. He proposed that small variations occur naturally in every population, for example, slight differences in beak size among finches or hair texture in humans. When these small differences give a survival advantage, natural selection preserves them. Over many generations, these tiny changes accumulate, producing noticeable differences and eventually, entirely new species. This gradual accumulation of traits is called gradualism. Fossil records often show transitional forms like the Archaeopteryx, half reptile and half bird, which beautifully supports Darwin's idea of gradual change leading to new life forms. But not everyone agreed with Darwin's slow and steady picture. In the early 20th century, the Dutch botanist Hugo de Vries studied a plant called Oenothera lamarckiana, also known as the evening primrose. To his surprise, he observed sudden, dramatic changes in traits, like new flower colors and shapes appearing in just one generation. He called these sudden, large variations mutations. De Vries proposed the mutation theory of evolution, where species arise in sudden jumps, a process he called saltation. According to him, evolution was not necessarily gradual, but could take giant leaps. Imagine, instead of slow steps, evolution sometimes takes a bold jump forward. So, how do Darwin's variations differ from De Vries' mutations? Darwin described variations as small, gradual, and directional, inch-by-inch progress, like climbing a staircase step by step. De Vries, on the other hand, emphasized large, sudden, and random changes, like leaping several steps at once. Later, scientists realized that both were partly right. Mutations provide the raw material, sudden genetic changes. But natural selection then acts on these variations, slowly shaping populations over time. This integration gave rise to what we now call the modern evolutionary synthesis or neo-Darwinism, where population genetics became the key to understanding evolution. Population genetics is the science that beautifully connects Mendel's inheritance with Darwin's natural selection. It asks, how do allele frequencies or gene variants change in a population over time? Mutations create new alleles. Recombination during sexual reproduction shuffles genes to produce endless combinations. Then forces like natural selection, genetic drift, and migration alter the frequency of these alleles. For example, imagine a population of moths. A new dark-colored allele arises due to mutation. In a polluted environment, this allele increases in frequency because it helps the moths camouflage better. This is population genetics in action, evolution happening right before our eyes. But evolution does not stop at variation, it eventually leads to the birth of new species. This process is called speciation when a population becomes reproductively isolated, meaning its members can no longer breed with the original group. Genetic differences accumulate until a new species is formed. Sometimes this happens due to geographic isolation called allopatric speciation. Picture a river dividing a group of animals, preventing interbreeding. Over generations, the two groups evolve separately. Darwin's finches of the Galapagos Islands are the perfect example. Each island had finches with slightly different beak shapes adapted to available food. Over time, these differences became so great that distinct species arose, a striking example of adaptive radiation and speciation. So, let's quickly connect all the amazing ideas we explored today. Evolution is powered by variation and selection. Darwin showed us the importance of small, gradual changes. Hugo de Vries highlighted the role of sudden mutations. Modern evolutionary biology integrates both, with population genetics explaining how allele frequencies shift over generations. Finally, we saw how these mechanisms lead to speciation, creating the incredible biodiversity around us. Isn't it amazing to think that the same forces that shaped dinosaurs and finches are still at work, shaping the future of life, including us, Homo sapiens? I hope this session helped you appreciate the intricate beauty of evolutionary mechanisms. Remember, you are not just learning biology, you are uncovering the story of life itself. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of biology.